Did the caller know that this money was high stakes? We're not planning conservatively. You're 10, 12 years away from retirement. So we kind of want to slow down the riskiness, okay, of those investments. But from what it sounds like here, she gave someone $600,000 and said, go for it. People, let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson. I don't care who the person is. I don't care. You never turn your back on your budget.
I have a very, very, very big problem.
Uh-oh. She sounds like she's trying to outrun an elephant.
I'm 58-year-old single mom of 3 grown boys. I had a trusted friend watching my money, and we lost it all. $400,000 in a brokerage firm, and he went into my retirement fund, so it's over $600,000 that I lost.
Oh no.
Obviously, I'm devastated, but thank you, Dr. John, that I've been listening to you for a long time.
Let's all pause. Let's just all pause. All right, people. The tea has started. The tea has been poured. I have orange juice this evening. But people, 600,000. Now, I want you to let's all stop. Let's put in perspective her situation, okay? She is single mom. 3 grown children. Thank God they're grown. And from what I gather, if I heard this right, this was her retirement money. Now, my question becomes this. First off, and we have a lot of questions here, okay? Why would you give anyone $600,000 to gamble away your money? That's the first question. Next question, she says she's 58, I think she said, so she's 2 years older than I am. You're nearing your retirement years. We are on the countdown. We are on the 10, 12-year countdown. Why would you allow someone to gamble away, in essence, all that money? And it says here, day trading, brokerage firm, day trading, so whatever the heck they were doing with the money, okay? Why would you give that? And the word friend, this is going to have to be questionable, because were all these transactions legitimate in the sense of, did the caller, what's her name? I already forgot her name because they started this call right out, okay? Did the caller know that her money was going to be basically, I hate to say gambling money, I know it's not gambling, but in other words, did the caller know that this money was high stakes? We're not planning conservatively. You're 10, 12 years away from retirement. So we kind of want to slow down the riskiness, okay, of those investments. But from what it sounds like here, she gave someone $600,000 and said, go for it. People, let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson. I don't care who the person is. I don't care. You never turn your back on your budget. You never turn your back on your finances. I don't care if it's your brother, sister, your best friend, parent. I do not care. When it comes to you and your finances, the idea that you can just give it to somebody and they're going to take care of it. Family, have we not heard enough calls here? Have we not heard enough calls? Okay. You can't do that. You must be involved. $600,000. Wow.
So I've been trying my best. I'm in trauma therapy and trying my best. I'm a nurse. I make around $80,000 a year. I took a second job and I'm bringing in an extra $4,000 a month. I own a home that I have $400,000 in equity, and I'm just not sure what the next step is for investing. I
hope that's not her only retirement at this point. She'd been much better with the $600,000. See, I'm the type that I'm very financially conservative. Okay. Now that doesn't mean I, put my money in CDs and, no, I haven't owned a CD in years, but I work in insurance. I use the insurance route for savings. I'm kind of an annuity gal. Okay. That's just me. All right. I do the long, slow, steady. I don't play the markets. I don't do the 401ks. I let my teacher pension handle that stuff. Okay. For what I do for me, I'm in the much slower, more conservative pace. That works for me. I'm saving, yada, yada. Right. But at the age that she's at now, would I take a bunch of money and just basically, gamble it away. I know it's not gambling, but you understand what I mean. Would I put it in high stakes, high risk stuff? No, I would not. I hope the $400,000 equity isn't the only thing she has. And hopefully she's been a nurse long enough. She's got a pension or something going on with that. This is financially devastating. And me suspects that this was not the friend that she thought. Me suspects that there are people out there. Remember the Bernie Madoff catastrophe? And we talked about this about a month or so ago. Remember the Bernie Madoff catastrophe, Ruth Madoff, and what was the one thing, the one common denominator? Okay, because I followed that story really close when it happened. It was over a decade ago. I think it was more like 20 years ago or so, right? I followed the story really closely, and there's the one common, the one common denominator in all these investors that lost money. I hate to say it. There was a sense of getting something for nothing. Now I like to stay short of the term greed. Okay, I like to stay just shy of the term greed. But greed can get us to make decisions that actually hurt us. The decisions are harming us because we want something for nothing. We want something quick. We want that Amazon delivery turnaround time, right? Instead of slow and steady. The Bernie Madoff people, they were like, oh, well, we can get all this money back. We're getting dividend after dividend. There's always showing returns. And yet, to the average person that wasn't involved in the Bernie Madoff, fiasco, we would be going, wait a minute. You're getting 15, 20% returns even when the market is really down. And you never go down in returns. It always goes up, up, up. To the average person that's not in it, we're going, something doesn't seem right. And we might even look and say, God, those people were dumb. But it happens. And I kind of wonder if in this case, the caller, her name's Jenny. Okay, Jenny, White Plains, New York. Okay. I wonder if it was either Jeannie or Jenny. Okay. But I wonder if she didn't kind of fall into that. Hey, I have a friend. And Bernie Madoff was friends with tons of people, business associates, the whole 9 yards. People were begging to invest their money with him. I kind of wonder if on a smaller scale, this isn't the same thing. Jenny had, quote unquote, a friend who's really what I like to call the financial predators. They look for people that, they think would be good victims and they pounce.
Should I sell the house? Because I always led my life correctly, no credit card debt. I paid for my children's college.
So if you lead your life correctly, what would get you to give someone $600,000, especially if that was your entire retirement? I mean, I could even barely, okay? I could even say 100, and that's barely. Like I said, I am really conservative, so I wouldn't even do that. But let's say at least you gave 100 and they blew that, you still got 500 left. You gave this person over $500,000. Holy cow. That's 6 of my condos when I purchased it in 2020. That's 6 of my condos.
And now this is where I'm stuck.
All right. Hold on a second. Jeannie, I hate this for you.
She's screwed.
You trusted a close friend, huh?
Yes.
Was that...
Okay. And that was something, I'm sorry, John, I didn't mean to interrupt you. And that's something that Bernie Madoff did when he was the former lead of Wall Street, what is it, NASDAQ, and all that stuff. He was the head honcho of that, right? One of the things that he did was he built relationships with his victims. He built relationships. I mean, these were people that, he had done business with. These are people that had, they were his business associates, family, friends. I mean, like, people were upset when he wouldn't allow them to invest with his, what we now know is a total Ponzi scheme company. These are predators. And what better person than a single mom, public service worker? She's a nurse. She's got some grown kids. She's trying to save for retirement, trying to get to that last hurrah. Perfect victim. so long as her mindset matches, and her mindset apparently did. I'm telling you, this is not a friend. This was a predator, and I hope she comes to realize that.
A friend, one of my college roommates is my SmartVestor Pro, manages my money, right? So I'm in the same boat. I'm gonna call him right after the show. Just kidding. I know he's doing great, but did your friend like make stupid bets, or was your friend in charge of a mutual fund that just went belly up?
I think he was trying to make a lot of money, and he was day trading, basically day trading. Went through hundreds.
Damn. Look, I don't know much about markets and stuff, but I know one thing. Okay? I know one thing. Day trading is high risk. High risk. Yeah, you can make it big. I'm putting in my earrings, okay? Because I forgot to put my earrings in. Try and look pretty for y'all. Day trading is high risk. I hope she's smart enough to know that if she had known he was day trading, she would have said no. Not that that makes her position any easier. But someone comes to me and says, hey, I'm a day trader. Give me 600,000 of your money. First thing you should tell them to do is hit the road. To me, day trading, because I had a gal pal whose son was a day trader. And let me tell you, that is gambling. As far as I'm concerned, that's as close to gambling, true gambling as you get. And here's the thing. They're doing it with your money. It's fun to day trade when it's with somebody else's money. So he was having a good time with this. This was a roller coaster ride, up and down for him, right? It was somebody else's money. I wonder if she knew he was day trading. But either way, no matter what, if she signed that money over to him and said, try to make a profit with it, there's no, you play the market, the person you give the money to, that is all high risk. This is why I allow my Social Security and my pension. They can play the markets. The money that I put in goes into insurance, annuities, and it goes slowly. And I'm all good.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars day trading, and then he lost all of that. Didn't want to tell me. He was giving me fake statements. And
Bernie Madoff did the same thing. Ponzi scheme. Now, I'm not saying this dude that worked with Genie did a Ponzi scheme, but it was the same thing. It's, I need more of your money. Now, I don't know. If he was giving her fake statements, she might have some legal recourse, okay? But how much money is she going to spend trying to get it back? I don't know. Hell, for $600,000, I'll sell a child if I think I can get the money back. I'm just kidding, okay? The bottom line is, if she signed the money over to him and it's gone, what's doing them going to do at this point? He doesn't have the money. But always remember, when you give your money to a friend, okay, or even a firm, I don't care who it's given to. You know, my annuity company is A+ rated. I won't say who it is, but it's an A-rated company. I've known about them for a long time. So highly established, yada, yada. Okay. But when you give your money and you're trying to make a fast buck, which I think that's what she was trying to do. She may not have known it was day trading, but this is what happens. And it's fun for the person that gets to play with your money because they don't lose. Yeah, they may not have made their commission, but they're not, at least from my understanding, they're not out directly. But you are. I'm telling you, this was a financial predator. That's what he was. And if he's giving her fake statements, I hope John will address, or any of you in the family, do you guys know if somebody gives you fake financial statements and they lose your money, is there any recourse you can give? I am totally unknowledgeable in this area.
Oh, so he's a criminal. Your friend is a criminal.
That's fraud.
He is, and we've gone to the White Plains, we're filing charges.
Good.
And but then he went outside of the brokerage firm to my retirement account, and now I'm having all these tax implications.
Well, he robbed you. He stole from you.
Jeez. So now she's got tax implications as well because did he break into her retirement account? I'm telling you guys, this just ran earlier today, and I saw this, and I was like, ooh, tea time. Oh, wow. But even if she can take him to court, even if she can win, is she going to get anything? Wow.
You.
I know.
Yeah, so we're going to deal with that on a separate issue, okay? Here's the big one. Have you forgiven Genie yet? Because until you do that, you're not going anywhere. You're going to sit right
I went. Genie's the caller. She's asking if she's forgiven herself. That threw me for a loop. So don't be surprised. Forgive yourself if it threw you for a loop too.
in the middle of this. You have to.
I think I will be able to, but not yet. If
Okay.
I experience
This is enough to keep her from retiring. You're out over $500,000. Yeah. This is enough to keep you from retiring.
Fresh is this?
December 18th?
Ooh, child.
You're
Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, the tea is hot, ladies and gentlemen. This just happened. She's barely had 2 statements out yet. Wow. You know, the other thing too, and again, I don't know much about, investments and all that, but this is just a thought, and it was something I was told years and years ago. And that is, if you're writing a check to a person for an investment, that's a red flag. So in other words, when she turned her money over to this crook, okay, and I'm not saying he's a crook because he lost her money day trading. That was most likely inherent risk she accepted. That's not what makes him a crook. But if he didn't keep her informed that the money was going to be used for day trading, if he's giving her false statements, he's breaking into her accounts to get more money. In other words, hey, you lost, day trading, well, it is what it is. But if he didn't follow the other steps legally, yeah, there's definitely a problem. But something I was told years ago, okay, and I can't remember by whom, just some trustworthy financial person, said if you ever asked to write a investment check to an individual, not a company, IRS number and all that stuff, to an individual, that is a red flag. As a matter of fact, when I set up my annuities for my retirement account, I darn near forgot. And I looked at the person and said, do I write it to you? Now, this is somebody I have known for a long time and has dealt with my retirement account. And he's like, no. And he was very firm. He's like, no, you do not write the check to me. You write it to the company. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Because even I had a momentary slip. All right. You never write the check. And I'm wondering if this money was signed over to him directly. It's just another, tool to investigate.
You're gonna have.
Whoo! I can't whistle. At 56, I've never known how to whistle. It just comes out like. I don't know how to whistle. Okay, back on track.
Have to. Okay, let's just cut right to it. Be real honest. How much of this do you know in your gut? Things have been kind of shady for a while, or were you just caught flat off guard?
Caught flat off guard.
Okay, then you got to forgive yourself.
And she was probably partly caught flat off guard because she trusted this person. She's busy being a nurse. I mean, God bless nurses. I think teaching is commendable, but damn, I think nurses sit right up there next to heaven. Good ones, of course. But I think, if I'm in heaven and there's, I'm in a line and there are nurses behind me, all right, I'm going to let them go ahead of me. I really would. I'd just say, please go ahead of me. And so she was probably very busy being a nurse and she trusted this person. Never trust people with your money. Ever. You just don't do it.
Listen, we have in our culture, we have like a process for when a friend stabs us in the back. We don't have a good psychology for when a friend stabs us right in the face. And
in the wallet. But imagine, she had $600,000 to give someone. I think she gave them like all of her retirement. Am I not correct, family? Am I not correct? I think she pretty much turned over her retirement.
That's what happened to you.
Yeah.
They looked you in the eye.
Jamie, if you're listening, help me out here, okay? I think they turned over her entire retirement. And this is why she's looking at the equity in her house. If I understand this correctly.
They didn't do anything conniving behind your back. He stared you down and you lost everything.
Yeah, when he went
He was a predator. That's what he was. He was a financial predator.
into my retirement fund, he had like paper checks, hard copy checks cut and took it out of my mailbox.
Yeah, he stole.
Obviously, I would never take out.
He's a criminal.
But,
That's federal. That's federal. Okay, I'm gonna rewrite that little part again. Hold on. It looks like he stole checks out of her mailbox. Hold up here.
He stared you down and you lost everything.
Yeah, when he went into my retirement fund, he had like paper checks, hard copy checks cut and took it out of my mailbox.
Yeah, he stole.
Obviously, I would never take out.
He's a criminal.
But,
He's a crook. Listen, you have to set that down. Here's why. Your emotional reactivity is going to color what you do next.
Okay.
And you
I feel so bad. I feel so badly for her. Oh, but people, I'm gonna ask you a tough question. Love me, hate me. I'm gonna ask you a tough question. Anyone know what that is, family? Anyone know? Was this avoidable? Was this financial situation that she finds herself in right now avoidable? Or is this completely victim? If you look at it from an insurance standpoint, okay, and you've heard me, relate to things about insurance, because the one thing about insurance on a policy, it either is or it is not. There's very little black and white in insurance, and it's written that way intentionally. And if there is, it's black and white. There's very little gray area, and where there may be gray area, it will wind up usually settled out of court. So let's put the gray area aside. Most part of insurance is pretty black and white. It either is covered or it's not. Okay. If we go to the point of loss, just like we do in insurance, what caused the loss? If we take a look at this situation and we look at what caused the loss. Yeah, we know she's got a crook of a day trader, yada, yada. We got that part. But let's take the movie and let's rewind it all the way to the beginning. What actually caused the loss? Well, it appears she gave someone over $500,000 at the age of 58. Well, she's probably in the 10-year countdown to retirement. I suspect, and I'm going to say this gently to her, okay, I'm going to say this gently, to try to make some fast extra money. That's what I'm going to bet. She'd have been better doing it my way. Put into annuity, let it ride for, a decade or so, and then it'll pay you out for life for the rest of your life. It's very slow. It's very boring. It's insurance. Okay? But it'll complement a teacher's pension and Social Security beautifully. Okay? That's what she would have been. I mean, whether she chose to do it that way or not, the way I'm doing it, it doesn't matter. That what I suspect was she was hoping to make some fast money. That's what I suspect. I'm also willing to bet that she gave this money directly to the guy. This is what I'm suspecting. And the only reason I'm suspecting this, that she didn't write it to a company, a company check or whatever, is because she said he was accessing her account, which means he had some personal relationship to her account. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think she probably gave directly this money to this guy. That's what I suspect. But I will leave room to backpedal just in case.
have to go into this next season as clear-eyed as you can be. What does that mean? Setting down the rage, setting down the anger, setting down your own self-hatred, setting all that crap down so that you can make a true plan moving forward.
I recommend, honestly, if she has $400,000 in equity in her place, she needs to downsize. Buy a place and downsize. She's probably not going to, I hate to say this, guys, this is a hell of a lot of money. For most of us, okay? I know for some people, it's like, oh, that's just $600,000. I can make that up with one book signing. Okay, I get it, okay? But for the average Joe, okay, the average nurse, this is a lifetime's worth of work. This is a lifetime's worth of work and labor. She said she has 3 kids, so I don't know, may have been part of a divorce settlement. I didn't get a thing in my divorce. Well, I got a 10-year-old beat up vehicle that needed $6,000 in repair. That's what I got in my divorce. So everything I did, I created on my own after that. But you know, this is a lifetime's labor at 58 years old. I would tell her, downsize your place, sell it and go way down. Yeah, you're not going to live in, you know, maybe as nice as you thought. But at this point, you're basically looking at 10 years, assuming she's going to retire at 67, 68. You're looking at 10 years to rebuild this. And it's going to be harder to build it if you're living in a bigger place. Just a thought, just an idea.
I will listen to you.
Is that fair?
I can't even today, just trying to pump gas. I'm shaking because I feel like I'm putting diesel in because I can't even make the decision on which gas pump.
That's right, because you have lost the foundation with which you walk on, which is trust in Genie. You gotta let yourself know, I got robbed.
And it's not even just the trust factor, it's the financial loss. It's the, I got to start this all over again. It's hard enough when you just simply lose, you know, you're not my friend anymore. I just don't trust you. Okay. But when you lose your financial footing, that financial foundation, you're 10 years respectively away from retirement. Yeah. I mean, it's breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
Not by your hand, but in your lap. This is not your fault.
Yes.
Most people, most of the time, have.
Now, I gotta back up a little bit on this, John. Okay, I'm gonna back up a little. He says it's not your fault. I think we need to remember something. Short of somebody just totally breaking into our account without our authorization. I mean, blind. Like, you know, I think most of us have probably had our checking account or credit card tapped into, and it's like, you know, I've had mine tapped. I probably get mine tapped into at least once every year and a half or so. So I'm always having to keep up on it. The latest one was someone out of Belgium. I haven't left Del Mabry in Tampa in months, so I don't think that was me in Belgium. Okay, that's totally not my fault, and they fixed it and all that. But one way that she's going to have to learn from this is she's going to have to accept some responsibility. If she just totally wipes it away, says, nope, that was not my fault at all, 110%, then I fear that she could place herself back again in victim mode with someone else. If you haven't learned what you did that put that chain of events in motion, then how are you going to keep it from happening again? I'm not saying blame the victim, okay? Not what I'm saying. But there still needs to be at least some level of accountability personally that you take, if nothing else, so you know what you did, so you will never allow yourself to be a victim again. I'm not saying take accountability in the sense that, yep, you're at fault, you caused all this. No. But it's simply saying, you know what, I'm going to acknowledge what I've done. Because without the willingness to acknowledge any part, I don't care if it's 1%, without the willingness to acknowledge what you did that helped contribute to it, then how are you going to protect yourself from it happening again? And that's why I say it's important that, in my opinion, people acknowledge what they did that contributed towards the situation. I hope that makes sense. It's not to blame the victim, but I will rest quite most assuredly that part of what got her into this was someone said to her, hey, I can make you some real fast money. I can turn this 600 into $1 million. Trust me, I'm your friend. And in the back of her mind, even if it's just for a split second, goes, hey, you know what? Yeah, we can turn some fast money. And that's the sole thought that she had. And that was it. And everything else was pure from there on. Okay, at least acknowledging that little spot that said, hey, I thought I could make some fast money. Taking that acknowledgement and going, yeah, you know what? I have to take responsibility for that. And I have to acknowledge that. And by doing so, I'm going to make sure that no one ever takes advantage of me like that again. Because people who refuse to acknowledge anything, ever like dealt with couples who are divorced. And even though my ex left me and I tried as I might, yada, yada, are there things I could have been better? Absolutely. Are there things I wish maybe I had known was important that I did not recognize as being important at that time? Absolutely. Will that affect the next relationship I have? Absolutely. We can all take responsibility somewhere and say, you know what, there is room to fix myself, to elevate my knowledge, to be a better person, right? Exactly. So him saying that, you know, you're not responsible for this, I kind of disagree with that. Even if it's 95% the idiot day trader and 5% her, it's still 5% her. And that's 5% she'll learn, and it's 5% she will be that much smarter.
A little gut feeling that their buddy's kind of shady. Not
No.
you. You trusted
No,
this
I
dude.
didn't. I did.
And that's true. I will admit, okay, yeah, she's not the shady one. But letting her guard down for what I suspect was her desire to have more money allowed a shady predator to slip right in. Any of you out there give anyone $600,000? Please write in the comments. Okay, I would give someone $600,000. And again, this is all debt to income, all right? She had over half. Guys, that was her retirement. She would have retired. Wow. This is Enron, the company Enron that said, give us all your money. This is Rich. This is Bernie Madoff, who said, give me all your money. People, you know, given one dude your entire balance, that would be like me, you know, taking out a HELOC for my condo and saying, go invest it, do something with it. You know, I mean, and then sorry, it's all gone.
After it, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay, I
work in a group home all night long. I work all night now.
I want you to keep that intensity. I want you to build up 6 months of expenses, whatever that is, basic expenses, whatever it takes. If something were to happen for you to keep things running in your
something did happen. Something did happen. I get what the lovely Jade is saying, though.
household.
Okay.
You told me you're taking some overtime. How much are you bringing home every month?
Around 7,000.
Okay. And how much of that is margin? Like, how much of it is extra after you pay your bills, you get groceries?
Oh, well, to be honest, maybe it's more because right now the margin is 5,000.
Okay, so you got 5,000 of margin. That's good. So
She's got good numbers, okay? She's got numbers, but her retirement is not going to be anywhere near what it could have been. She could have possibly retired as a millionaire. Remember, she probably has at least 10 years. About 10 years. She's 58, you know. Okay? But this is, I mean, she's got to just get back to where she was. And this was a lifetime's worth of work.
I do.
first things first is you're building up this emergency fund. And then after that, of all the money that you're bringing home, I want you to start investing 15% of it. We're walking old school baby steps here. I want you
And go freaking conservative.
investing 15% into your 401k basics. All right?
Okay.
And then after
Okay.
that, we can start looking at, while you're doing that, we can start looking at making extra mortgage payments. Because I want this $200,000 paid off. I want your home paid off by the time in the next 10 years. Like, I want it.
She could have had the home paid off with the $600,000 that she gave him. Why didn't she do that? At least she could have had a home paid off. I feel... Here's the thing. I'm not going to say I feel 100% badly for her. I feel more badly for her than I don't feel badly for her. So I hope that makes sense. But really, I think, like I've said, I think what she was looking for was a fast buck, and it didn't work out. And I am amazed as to why anybody gives somebody every dime they have. You know, there's something called spread your eggs out. This is why I love the way I'm going to retire. I'll have part cash annuity with me. There'll be 6 figures in that. I will have a very solid teacher's pension, state teacher's pension. I will have Social Security, because here in Florida, we pay into our Social Security. Not all states, by the way, get social. Not all states, the teachers don't all pay into Social Security. There are about 6, 7, maybe 8 states where teachers don't pay into Social Security, and they actually do not get to collect a Social Security check. So if you're one of those teachers in those states, and you don't see Social Security being withdrawn, you got to plan and budget accordingly and probably hold out a little bit more. But I feel like, I have the really solid 3 legs of the stool. There are going to be people, I guarantee, that will feel absolutely no pity for her whatsoever. What I feel pity for her more, I think, is that she was just so naive in this. Because as stupid of money decisions as I have made, all right, and mine's looking pretty minor compared to this, but even I have always known you don't ever put all your eggs in one basket. You don't ever say, here is everything I have, take it and see what you can do with it. You never ever do that. It should come in different baskets for different things.
Done. And I want you to go into retirement at 65 with a paid for house, and you've been investing. And then at 68, if you decide to retire, you will have been investing at least $5,000 a month for the last 10 years. Fair enough?
Okay.
Okay, so let's do.
It's still depressing. I mean, like I said, she it's still depressing. But she's got a shovel, so she can do it. But who wants to be 58, start over from zero? But she can still save her retirement. I still think she should way downsize the house. I think that would be a huge help. Downsize that house. See if you can get a house that you can just pay off now outright.
So I was thinking of selling the house and using that to build more money.
No,
Oh, he's saying no. Let's hear it.
I want you
I
to
don't think
be.
you need
I want
to
you
do
to be
that yet.
65 with a paid for house that no one can ever.
Why don't she just downsize the house and pay for it right now and have the house paid off in a couple of years? This is why I live in such a small condo. This is why I live in 840 square feet, 100 grand. I just wanted it paid off. It's not because I couldn't have gotten a cute little condo that looks like a little townhouse and stuff. I could have bought that with a 2-car garage. I just chose to go real simple. And I'm thinking, why ever spend the next 10 years paying off a piece of property? Downsize the property. And as you guys know, the neat thing about the Dave Ramsey show is, there's more than one way to skin a cat. All right. So I say yes, he says no.
Ever take from you.
Because here's the thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If you invest, I'm putting this in my, I love a compound interest calculator. If you start with 0, and I'm just putting this in here, if you start with $0 and you invest for 10 years, so from the time you're 58 to the time you're 68, and you get some great rate of return funds, maybe you're in a 10% annualized rate of return, and you're doing this every monthly, $5,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
If I calculate that, that's showing me that you're going to have $1 million.
Which is depressing because she could have had that problem in the next couple of years without this sucker taking $500,000. But like I said, the good thing is she can still save herself. But it's not going to be maybe the $1.5 million she could have had.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So you've got time. Like John said, it's the emotions are high right now, but our emotions aren't high. This didn't happen to us. So we can look at the numbers and we're looking at them clear and focused. This is just showing you investing over the course of the next 10 years, $400,000 of income, and the rest of it is growth.
I can do that.
Yeah,
You can do that. And you're going to do more because you're working like a wild woman right now.
I am, because I can't be home. If I am home, all I just do is cry. But if I'm at work, I'm okay.
Okay, but hold on. Don't work yourself into a grave as punishment for what you think you did wrong.
Okay.
You got hit in the mouth by somebody who said, I love you.
Yeah.
You got taken advantage of. You did not do something wrong. So you're going to have a season. You're going to have a decade when you thought you'd be landing the plane. You ain't landing the plane, honey. You're going to be working hard.
Yeah.
All right, folks. I think we have a general idea of this situation. This is horrible.